Hello, this is Sherri Nuccio with Riverway Business Services. This is our first presentation in our series of our 10-minute sales tips. We all know that sales is such an invigorating profession to be in. We also know it has highs and it has lows. We're here because we'd like to make it as consistent for you as possible. We'd like to provide some background knowledge on sales, the psychology around sales, and different factors and tips that will help you be the best salesperson you can be. So each week we'll be coming with you with some new psychology, some new philosophies, and some new tips that you can utilize in your daily practice. So let's get started. Why are you in sales? Why did you choose a sales profession? Maybe you just fell into it like I did. Maybe you chose this as a profession for yourself. But we are all in sales because we're all faced with trying to figure out why your customers buy. Why do your customers buy a product from you? Why do they buy a service from you? It's your job to provide them with solutions to their pain points. So instead of selling, you're providing solutions to their pain points. If you can't find out what their pain point is, you can't provide them a solution. Thus, you can't effectively sell to them. So think about yourself as more of a solution provider rather than a salesperson. So this is the sales cycle. Welcome to the new profession if you're new to this profession, and if you're a seasoned sales professional, this is going to be very invigorating for you to listen to as well. So you will need to understand and master this cycle before the cycle throws you out. Throughout today's presentation, I'm going to refer back to a few books that I've used in my daily practice, which is Spin Selling by Neil Reckham, as well as the Little Red Book of Selling by Jeffrey Gitomer. A few of the tactics that we're going to discuss today you can find directly in those books. So write this down and keep it with you. You don't sell, your customer buys. Seriously, get out a pen and paper right now, write this down. You don't sell, your customer buys. This is going to change the whole psychology for you around sales. If you think of yourself as a salesperson, then you may think of yourself as pushy, or all you think about is closing and tactics. But if you think of yourself as a solution maker and your customer is buying from you, it's more relationship centric, and that's where the sweetness in the sales comes in. You simply provide them with the tools to do so. The first step in any selling strategy is drop that sales mentality of pitches, of closes, etc., and put your hat on as a solution maker. Plain and simple, a customer buys because they have a need, and you sell because you have a solution. But the difference between those in sales who will succeed and those that will fail are the ones that do not provide the right solutions. There are many ways of doing so, which week after week we're going to keep discussing. This way you provide the best solutions to your customers. This simply starts with providing with qualifying questions at the very beginning of that conversation. Instead of the conversation being about you and the great products you sell and how awesome you are and how energetic you are, the conversation needs to start with, what do they want? What are their pain points? What's hurting? What areas would they like to see be different? And that's where the beauty and the sweetness of the sales comes in. So kind of going back now, though, in the Little Red Book of Selling, Gitomer covers 11 principles of sales greatness. I think what's great about this is that sales is a very self-directed profession. You have to be self-motivated, and you have to be in charge of yourself. So the very first principle in this is kicking your own butt. You have to get up every morning, be ready to go 110%. And you know what? When that sales, when you don't close that sale, or when you feel a little down, you got to kick your own butt, because you know what? Right now, look to the person right of you, look to the person left of you. I bet you if you don't kick your own butt, they're going to kick your butt for you. Sales is very competitive. You cannot be afraid of competition. Otherwise, this whole cycle is going to throw you right out immediately. The number 2 principle, prepare to win or lose to someone who else is. I was never the most competitive person in my life, but when it came to work and came to winning, I'm very competitive. Now, put me on the soccer field, I'd rather do cartwheels there on the defense side. Not very big on soccer competitiveness, but in my daily profession, believe me, I want to win. And if I don't want to win, my neighbor to the right of me, Joseph, I know is going to kick my butt right out. He'll sneak up right underneath me and grab those leads if I'm not going to qualify and close those leads. So number 3, personal branding is sales. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. Have your network work for you. You want referrals knocking on your door. Some of you work right now in a retail energy environment where you are taking only inbound calls. That's your network. You got the leads coming to you. 50% of the job is done for you. It's your job now to find out what's going to fit best for that customer and close them. Number 4, it's all about value. It's all about relationship. It's not all about price. I know. I get this quite a bit too in our profession where some other firms can come under and underbid our prices, and a customer might go with that person for that price. But that's because I didn't sell our value up front. I didn't show them why our price might be 2% higher than Joe Schmo's next doors, but we have better value, and you're buying value, you're not buying price. Those customers that want price, you don't want them as customers anyhow. Don't worry about them. Sweep them off your shoulder. Move on to that next call, because that person is going to care about value, and that's the customer you want. Number 5, it's not work, it's network. Same as number 3. The more people that know about you, the more people that are calling in, those are your golden tickets. Make sure you're asking qualifying questions. Make sure you're finding out why they want to buy and provide them those solutions. Number 6, if you can't get in front of the real decision maker, you suck. Well, this kind of does play into effect quite a bit. You want to make sure that the person you're talking to is going to be able to sign that contract. If they don't have the authority to sign that contract, they may not have the girth to go in there and persuade the person who does. Make sure you're talking to the decision maker. Again, asking qualifying questions up in the beginning of that first conversation is going to help you. Number 7, engage me and you can make me convince myself. Get me excited. Ask me questions about me. Get me talking about me. Everyone loves to talk about themselves. I notice in some conversations, I always bring the conversation back to me just because I'm any other human being. I love to give my own examples, my own solutions. And if you can get me talking about me, you can get me convinced about what you're trying to sell me. Because hopefully it's going to provide a solution to whatever pain point I probably babbled out of my mouth. And it's your job to devise through that babbling and get me to tell you my pain points. Number 8, if you can make them laugh, you can make them buy. Humor is fabulous. If you can get someone lighthearted, make them laugh, they're going to trust you. And we buy from people we trust. Plain and simple. If they don't trust you or like you, they're not going to buy from you. If you're cold and very direct and there's no rapport there, they're not going to trust you. They're going to go to Joe Schmo next door. Number 9, use creativity to differentiate and dominate. There are so much competitors out there right now in any industry you're in. There's hardly any monopolies in this world. Well, I guess if you're maybe airplane, if you're airlines. Other than that, though, you probably have 3, 4, 5, 100 competitors that are fighting against you. You need to differentiate yourself. If not, they're going to go buy from your competitor. Number 10, reduce their risk and you'll convert selling to buying. So everyone is probably having a conversation with you as a salesperson because they have a pain point. They have a need for something. Now, if you let them know that them purchasing your solution is going to reduce their risk, they're going to do it. Again, no one wants to buy a risky investment. If you tell me that I want to spend $1,000 on this trust, but don't tell me how it's going to solve any of my problems, I'm not going to do it. And number 11, our very last one, when you say it about yourself, it's bragging. When someone says it about you, it's proof. This is your point blank social media. Goodness gracious, go on Google and Google anyone. There's 1,000 reviews on every company you can think of. I bet you there's a review on you too. People are starting to review their own representatives as well. So everyone says everything about anything, but you know what? They say more about people that are negative experiences than positive experiences. But anyone that you want to talk about you want it to be positive. You want them bragging about you. You want them to go, hey, call Sherri at Riverway. She's going to help you. She helped me. You want that. You don't want them saying, hey, call Sherri. Don't call Sherri at Riverway. She's terrible. That can kill your reputation. So now the difference between success and mediocrity is philosophy. It is your philosophy behind sales. Are you a car salesman or are you a solution maker? Are you there to help provide a solution for that person and make their life easier and better? If you believe that's the philosophy of what your job entails, you are going to be successful. If you believe you're a car salesman, you're just trying to get money from people, you're going to fail miserably. Think about getting out of this profession, honestly. So now, happy solution finding, everyone. Until next week, we discuss a few more tactics and revolving around the psychology of sales. Please tune in. I hope you found a few of these solutions good for yourself, and please put something in practice. One thing that you've learned today, you've heard me say, put that in practice in your very next conversation you have. Otherwise, you're going to lose it. Happy selling.